a message popped up that said the stream is
Okay. Hi. Uh-oh. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, hi. I am Healy Means. I am joined by Joy today. I think she popped out. She'll pop right back in. We are talking about fruit trees today. Um, I have fruit trees, just a few in ground, the rest are in containers. I believe Joy said that the majority of hers, if not all, are in the ground. So we just discussing fruit trees as beginner fruit tree growers, not experts by any means, but we thought we would talk about that just to kind of take um just like a change of topic. We know gardening, of course, gardening is hot. Of course, we have fruits and vegetables and herbs and things, but we just want to take a moment to give the fruit trees like their just due. We want to do that. So um let's see. I think Joy is just let's see
I'm good
here.
on my end.
We might be having a little bit of technical difficulty here. Oh, there she is. Hi Joy, you're back.
I
Not
didn't.
sure exactly what happened. Um
It
I
didn't do
think
anything
she's
on
frozen
my
again.
end.
But y'all, it wouldn't be a YouTube Gardeners live stream with me and Joy if something wasn't going on. If something wasn't going on with the technology.
Yep.
But you know what? We are here, and we appreciate you being here in the live stream. Or if you're coming back from the replay, we definitely appreciate that.
Yes.
I hear you, Joy.
Oh, okay. All good.
Let's see. But the image is frozen, but I heard you.
Because it looks okay on my, like I'm watching it on
Um,
my phone, and it looks.
okay, let's just wait a little moment. So let me show you this. So as I mentioned, I have them just a few fruit trees in the ground, and I tried to show a picture here. If you can see it. Let's see if we can switch this image. Oh, there you are, Joy. I see you.
Okay.
I see you back. Let me see. Can you say something? Let me see if I
Oh,
can hear
sorry.
you.
I'm good. I've been here the whole time. I haven't seen any.
Uh-oh.
It looks fine on my end.
Okay, it's something is so I see you, but okay. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on.
Let me see. I hear you. I
Um,
hear you.
but let me
Yeah, it's working on my YouTube.
okay, oh, hold on. Okay, now I hear you. I hear you well now.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I mentioned I just said this like if it wasn't technical issues, it wouldn't be a live stream. So
Exactly. At least we
but
don't get kicked out like some
I
people.
just was showing mhm. I was just showing a picture. So this is like the side of my backyard. So this is basically like the I don't know if you want to call it like the depth of the house. This is the long side of the house. And here is where I have the three fruit trees. I don't think my arrow is showing up, but closest to us on the right side, that's my apple tree. And you can't see all of the failed grafts. Y'all, I grafted 8 grafts, two each of 4 different kind of apples, and 0 grafts took. And apple is supposed to be one of the easiest trees to graft. I don't know if it was my grafting tool or just my technique having like never actually done grafting before. Maybe that was it. But so closest to us on the right side is the apple tree, and kind of hidden behind it, if you look in the middle, like just to the right of those gray buckets, that's my dwarf lemon, my dwarf Meyer lemon tree. And then on the left side, kind of in the back, you see that tall tree. That's my mini royal cherry tree. So those are the 3 trees that I have in the ground. And I'll show some other pictures where you can get a different angle, because there's also another cherry tree in a pot mixed in that that you probably can't see. But I only have 3 trees in the ground. Everything else is in containers. And I'll just show you right quick. So this is what I call patio row. And the only reason I call it that is because it's the patio and I have a row of fruit tree containers there. So to the left, one of my newest additions, I have 2 banana trees and they actually are alive. You can see that there are leaves coming from them, because for a couple weeks, I didn't see anything and I thought I had killed them, but I didn't. They are in 15-gallon pots. Next to them, I have 3 varieties of blueberries. I have the 2 plastic pots that you see, and then there's a smaller pot sitting in the pot on the right. So on the left, I have Bountiful Blue in the small pot that you can't really see. That's a sharp blue, and then in the other 20-inch planter pot, that one is a pink lemonade blueberry. And then to the right of that is my nectar plum tree, which it might not look the best, but there are a lot of fruit on it. The fruit also do not look the best, but that is my nectar plum tree. I believe I have what's called peach leaf curl.
Um,
I've seen it on some of the leaves, but it is something that has to be addressed in the dormant period. So I have to wait to treat the tree when it goes dormant. But
oh,
there's probably 15 or 20 nectar plums on that nectar plum tree.
no.
Then to the right of that is my cocktail grapefruit. There's nothing on it right now, and the leaves are turning yellow. So I need to address that, because on the grapefruit, those leaves are supposed to be like green, like green, and they were, and now they're yellow. I believe it is either a magnesium or a zinc deficiency, and I'm also going to check to see if I have more water. I'm not talking about all that right now, though. All right, and then and then I have that's an August Pride peach tree, and if you've seen any of my videos from before, y'all, that peach tree it had probably like 3 or 4 leaves on it. I thought I had killed it. It has a lot more leaves. And as we go down the line, I'll pop up some pictures, because I have like individual pictures. So I'll show that. And then the last area that I have fruit trees is this area. You'll see all the way to the left is that apple tree that I showed you earlier. But then in the middle, this is another row of fruit trees that I have between my mini raised beds. So I have 6 mini raised beds, and then in the middle I have 4 more apple trees. I mean 4 more fruit trees. So all the way in the back is the Royal Lee cherry tree. That's like the tallest thing. Right in front of that is a Washington navel orange. In front of that is a Moore blood orange. And then right in the front in that gray pot, that is a pink lemonade lemon tree. They're all very small, as you can see. Um, it's probably going to be at least until next year before I get something. But for the most part, that is my fruit and berry tree inventory. Now, Joy, go ahead, please let us know, because you have some different
Yeah,
fruit trees, and then we can talk about that too, with me being in zone 10 and you being in zone 6, you know, because everybody can't grow everything.
right.
We might want to, but I mean,
Right, right. So when we got to this property, we not stole, we took our trees, some of our trees that we had in the past house, and we transplanted them. And they didn't all take. So the ones that were successful are hazelnuts. And was there anything else? I think it was just the hazelnuts. There was something else, but I don't think it was a fruit tree. It was one of the other shrubs or something. But so, and then as we
Mhm.
go on them in the years, we got some apples. My husband is terrible at keeping these records, so I have no idea the varieties of these things that he got. I'm doing a little bit better with the varieties and keeping track. It's largely thanks to Healy that I'm like starting to Excel things and put them some kind of like list.
You know what though, it helps though, it does, it helps.
So we got apples, and the only one I have a variety for is something called Sylvestii. And I try to get, and we'll talk about this later, where you source your fruit, your trees from, and stuff. So I try to get local nurseries versus the big box store. So this one apple tree that I know of is called a Sylvestii. So it's good for my climate and all that. We also have a pear. We had 2 pears, but we lost one. So I do need to find a mate for this pear tree that we have. I got 2 Nanking cherries. I have, and then we have, I mean, elderberry. I guess it's a fruit, but it's not exactly like you eat it. You have to cook elderberry or it's going to kill you. But technically,
we don't want to die.
but it's very good for you. And technically, it's a fruiting tree. So I have it there. I also have some figs. Now, the figs have been so difficult for me because mainly of the voles, and then more recently, the dog. The dog loves fig.
Oh, no.
She used it. She was just like on during one of the winter days. She just decided to make a meal out of the figs. So I had it all netted and everything. So she took, it was like a loose netting. So she stole that and dragged it somewhere in the yard. And then the next thing I know, the trees were all looking like this. She just
but did they survive though? You still have them?
Yeah, luckily figs are really hardy and they come up from the base and you don't have to worry about that. And so it'll be many more years before I see any figs because every year I get a setback. So I have something called the Violette de Bordeaux. I had a hardy Chicago, but I'm not sure if that's one of the ones that survived or not. But I do have another hardy Chicago coming in, and I'm going to protect the bejesus out of it. So that's
yes,
I know exactly what I'm getting. And then also coming in for me is mulberry. Now, this is going to be the white fruiting mulberry, because mostly you think mulberry, it's the dark purple, dark red, and it's very staining. So when I found out there was a white variety, I was like, that's the one I'm getting.
Yeah.
And they say it's got more of a honey flavor versus whatever mulberry is supposed to taste like. So I take, the recommendations that I hear from some people and I go with it, and we'll see how it goes. Other bushes, as far as I have, are a few different raspberries. There were wild raspberries growing here already, so I have no idea what types those were. But I invested in a triple crown thornless and something called Latham. And then I also am getting a creeping vine type raspberry. It's emerald carpet. It's what it's called. So it's it just makes a ground cover. So I like the idea of, instead of weeds growing up, it'll be a carpet of raspberries.
Yes.
I do have a black currant, but I tasted it last year and I wasn't particularly fond of it. So I don't know if that's, it'll just grow and, be there, but it's not something I recommend. I don't know why people thought that was a good one. There were wild currants when we were living on our last property, and they were just growing along the rock, on the side of the road on the rocks. And those were delicious. This what I got is totally different from that. So I don't know. I also have blueberries. Those are the few things that I have in containers, but they're in grow bags and they're sitting on the ground. So they're still getting soil and moisture, and the roots aren't strong enough to penetrate the bags, but I guess it could. I have a Patriot, a Blu-ray, and then the other ones I have no idea because my husband bought them. And then last will be something called honeyberry. So another honey flavored fruit, and it's like an elongated, like a grape but elongated, and it's that purple color, and supposedly it tastes like honey. So we will see. I'm very excited about those. So the honeyberry, you need a male and a female, so I had to get two different kinds. But the mulberry only needed one, so it won't have seeds in it, but you'll still get fruit. So that was nice. So those are my.
Those are.
Oh, I also have grapes. I have grapes. A couple of grapes.
And you know what? I was gonna say that too. I have grape plants. I have grape plants. I did see one grape that was about the size of not a dime. A dime is way too gracious. Maybe the size of a third of a grape. I mean, the third of a dime.
Uh-huh.
You know, so I have Thompson seedless, and I believe it's Mars grapes.
Yeah.
So and I have them in a 15-gallon containers, and I have like one on one side of a stand, one on the other, and then the ladder mesh. So I just have them growing like towards and cross each other. I have a good amount of leaves. I see the grape bunches,
Mhm.
but I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet how to make the grapes grow big enough for me to see them, let alone eat them. Um, so that now we also now so we talked about like you said, most of your trees and things are in the ground except for, like you said, the blueberries. And I'm just the opposite. The majority of mine are in containers with three in the ground. Now in my case, I have a small backyard, and I don't have the space to plant all of these trees in the ground and give them the proper spacing that they would need to grow to, any substantial height and breadth. I don't have the space. But I have focused on buying dwarf and semi-dwarf varieties that
Mhm.
will already be smaller trees, but that will also bear fruit. Not as many as a tree planted in the ground, no way, but I can at least get, a handful, a couple handfuls, still with having trees in a pot. Now you also mentioned too, hey, you gotta worry about the watering. Is the soil too wet? Is it too dry? Is it time to fertilize? What's the it and it is some work and some science and some dedication to growing fruit trees in containers. And
Mhm.
whether that be, so I have all plastic pots, but whether you do it in, plastic pots or planters, grow bags, um, the terracotta, whatever, if it's in a container, and all containers have pros and cons, whether it be price, whether it be, breathability, whether it be holding water, or whatever. So there's the pros and cons. I chose the plastic um planters because they were on sale at Rite Aid like 2 years ago, I believe it was. And I went they had stuff, it was like 50% off, 60% off, 70% off.
Nice.
So yeah, that's why I chose to go that route. I do have grow bags, but right now I don't have anything growing in them. Actually, they're folded up and kind of tucked away.
Mhm.
But the reason why, like I said, I chose containers is because my yard is small, and I have definitely caught the fruit tree bug. And I don't know where these trees coming from. Like, I just blink my eye. I go outside and check, on my garden, and just like lo and behold, like more fruit trees pop up. So that's, I mean,
Right.
I don't know where they come from. But when they arrive, of course, I have to pot them up, put them in containers, try to nourish them. But I'm still learning about the different trees' requirements. Some need more water than others, some need more nutrition than others, some need more sunlight than others. And I'm working at which is another reason why I'm so glad that I have the containers. I mean, I have my trees in containers, and I also have them on plant caddies with
Mhm.
wheels, so I can just wheel them around, the yard. No matter how heavy they get, once I get my momentum going, I'll be able to, like push them and get them going. So yeah, small space, um, plastic containers. They were on sale, and that's my layout.
Sounds good. Yeah, I do have more space, but that doesn't actually mean more trees because
Mhm.
I have like I'm surrounded by trees on pretty much 90% of the sides. So I do get
Mhm.
shade, I still have to worry about how much sun they are getting. And then my soil quality is clay. So I have to invest a
Yeah.
lot in
Mhm.
augmenting the soil, mulching, um, the critters and protecting, let's say, the trunk of the trees.
Mhm.
So just because you have space doesn't mean life is all grand.
Well, can you talk us through that? So okay, you got a monarch butterfly.
Nice,
Wow. No, see,
nice.
but they are so beautiful. But you know what that means. They looking for spots to lay their eggs. And I'm looking for the swallowtail. I forgot to plant my milk thistle,
Hmm.
but sometimes monarchs will lay their eggs on other stuff,
Yeah.
not just milk thistle. Because I have butterflies, all kinds, but I have monarchs and I have swallowtails like every year. They laying their eggs on something and it's not milk thistle. The swallowtails, they get my dwarf Meyer lemon, especially. I have more than one citrus tree, but the dwarf Meyer lemon, they just that's their tree. And I'm tired of fighting with them or whatever. I just let them have it
Right.
because the tree is established enough to where even though I don't think that tree is 2 feet high. It might be 2 feet high, but it is so well established that it doesn't affect the fruit productivity or whatever. I'm sorry, y'all. I saw that butterfly and it just woo! I forgot what I was talking about.
Oh, it's good. You
Yeah.
wanted to talk about, I don't know, land or containers or pests?
Oh, I was asking you. I said, so you have a brand new tree. Well, first of all, tell us where you purchase it from. So you purchase your tree from X place that you're gonna tell us about. You bring it home. It is brand new in the nursery pot. What do you do?
So, like I said, I like to buy from like nurseries in the region. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't I guess I just don't like to go to like the big box stores and just mull around. I'm not like that's not my personality. I don't like to just like
Mm-hmm.
look up stuff on my phone or anything. I like to sit at home, have my computer, do my like versus this plant or this variety versus this variety. So I have like that calmness about it. I'm not feeling rushed like I have to get out of there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I like to do it online. Local to me, let's say I have, and some of them are online. I mean, on YouTube, and some of them aren't. But most
Mm-hmm.
of them now have some kind of channel. Edible Acres. He's up in the Finger Lakes. He
Mm-hmm.
sells. He does his own stuff, like in home or his like mother's house, and he has like
Mm-hmm.
thousands upon thousands of plants that he propagates.
Mm,
And then he had a friend he introduced us to who's only like it's less than an hour, but with traffic and everything, it always takes forever to get there. But it's
yeah.
super close by to me. Also, like a family owned place, and they do their own work. So
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten a lot of stuff from him. And it's also if it's like right next door, then you could just go over there if there's a problem or if you need to ask them something.
Yeah.
They know exactly what you're talking about. You're not
Mm-hmm.
one in a million people shopping there. And and then they recommend, the people online recommend places that they're friends with and stuff. So I like to support that too. So one's
Yeah.
like in Virginia or something. But that's I feel like that's enough, close enough. Like Virginia has mountains, obviously. So the higher elevations in Virginia mimic the conditions where I am. So I'm okay with those varieties that they're gonna do well here. And obviously they say the zones on them on the plant tags, they say zone whatever will survive. And I get
Mm-hmm.
to zone 6 here where I'm at. It's negative 10 degrees at the deepest cold. That's Fahrenheit. And yeah, so if a plant says anything less than zone 5, 4, 3, then it's definitely going to do well where I am.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to take into consideration microclimates. If a certain part of your yard has, let's say, is rocky, and those rocks will absorb heat during the day and then
Mm-hmm.
them slowly throughout the night, then that will give you a little microclimate that you could push like a boundary of a plant. where it might
Mhm.
suffer in your neighbor's yard or something. Or yeah, if you have more sun or less sun. Let's see. So okay, I get the plant. I get back to that. I get
Yeah.
the plant. It's in its thing. Hopefully, I'm not busy with other things that day, and I get to it. So definitely, I
Oh,
get it
well, you
out.
know what? Let me ask you this though. So if you purchase a tree, from the nursery, you bring it home, do you feel compelled to have that thing in the ground like the same day within, 30 minutes of being home, or have you left your tree in the nursery pot for days, weeks, months? Like, tell us.
Oh, definitely. I don't. I'm a procrastinator, like most people. I just let that sit, and
Hmm.
it's packed to its stand a few days of neglect. They
Yeah.
understand that at the nurseries.
Hmm.
So, but I try to get it,
Yeah.
open it up, make sure it's alive first of all, because once in a while
Hmm.
you get a dud, and the sooner you uh, say that you have a dud, the sooner they can replace it.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I definitely look at the condition of the roots. If it's still moist, then I could rewrap it and just stick it somewhere for a while. If it's
Yeah.
dehydrated, then definitely I get it into some, I mist it or somehow wet it, or I don't generally like repot it because that's like too much. I just
Hmm. Hmm.
leave it in whatever thing it's packed in, which is usually sawdust or shavings, like shavings
Yeah.
of some kind. And I just
Uh-huh.
leave it in that, in the plastic it's wrapped in or paper. Um, I guess it depends on the time of year too. But if if I needed to pot it up, then I obviously do, and just grab any old potting mix I can find and pack it down. I was good this time because usually, yeah, I get the thing, the plant, I leave it in its container, and then I dig a hole in the yard and plunk it in and say sayonara. But this time, since I had a few days lead in and I had the time, I
Hmm.
actually prepped the ground that I'm going to be putting these coming incoming plants in. So
Uh-huh.
I cleared like bigger, twice, at least twice the size of the expected root mass. So you clear a bigger space. I dug a few inches down and I turned over the soil with the grass on it and everything. And I turned it over. So now the roots will die off on top, and then the
Hmm.
grass will become mulch or food for the tree as it
For the
decomposes.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I put cardboard on top because worms like that. Worms like cardboard. And then I topped it with just like some old wood mulch that I have lying around. So I
Hmm.
feel like, we're going to start decomposing the soil, and the worms are going to come in and eat all that. And then the
Hmm.
mulch is going to keep it moist and cool so that when the plants come in, the soil isn't just virgin soil that this plant has never seen before, and
Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
go in shock. So I feel like I've done better this time around to ensure success.
Hmm. Well, David Corey has joined us. Thank you so much,
Hey,
David, for
David.
checking us out. Today we are talking about fruit trees and bushes and vines in our garden. So just kind of taking like a little break or a little pause from just talking about, like the fruits, the vegetables, and the herbs, and actually talking about fruit trees and vines and bushes. So we just talking about what we have in our garden. And Joy was just explaining to us where she sources her fruit trees from, and then what she does once she brings them home. Now I'm gonna tell you what I do and what I did. And I do agree with you, like local nurseries, if possible. My Fuji apple tree and the dwarf Meyer lemon tree are actually Home Depot purchases, and they are doing well. I mean, from 2018, and they still alive and kicking, and they are doing well. My cherry tree is from a local nursery, so and I keep looking because it's right here. It is right here. Oh, and I have I saw like 3 or 4 cherries on them.
Oh,
They're not ready yet, but they close. I'm looking at one like right now. It might be ready, but it's probably about 8 feet up in the tree. So I'm gonna have to get a ladder. I have one of the little extended grabby
oh,
things.
okay.
I'm try to get that. But This tree I actually purchased two. So I purchased the mini royal and I purchased the royal leaf because I had to have both of those to cross pollinate to produce fruit. And the mini royal did very well. Like I said, this is from 2018. My royal leaf, however, it ended up dying.
No.
And I was so sad because also purchasing from a local nursery, it is not the same price as the big box stores.
Right.
So these trees were an investment. And so I contacted the local nursery. Hey, the tree died, it didn't make it. Your boy told me, once you take it off the property, that's it. Like zero warranty. I was like, dang, I wish I should have been paying attention. I have to put that on myself. I should have been paying attention. And I was like, well, that's the first and the last time that I will purchase from that local nursery. I had also purchased at least two avocados that did not make it. And so that was, four trees. Plus, how these local nurseries will have like their own little special fertilizer or soil amendment. Or, I thought I was doing something good, supporting local business. Yeah, not that nursery anymore. However, the nursery that I go to now, like they are perfect. And I think every other fruit tree that I have, besides those banana trees that were actually gifted to me, and I still can't believe it. I'm like ecstatic about these banana trees. And speaking of that, let me just show you. Let me see if I can bring up this tree. So these are a close up of what they look like, and I thought I took a another picture, but if you can see the left tree, like down at the bottom, I believe that there's a pup growing like already. But y'all, I'm thinking like that can't be right. Hold on, let me try to find that picture. Oh, here it is. Let me try to find this picture and bring this up because I'm like, already, but I mean, maybe so. Is that a banana pup? The beginnings of a banana pup? Like, I don't know. David says he has figs, pomegranate, pluots, plums, peaches, goji, blueberries, lemon, guava, lemons, limes, avocado, cherry, persimmon. Dang. I mean,
It's all there.
David, you know what? Oh, and black sapote. I know that joy. I was just about to say the same thing. Please come up and talk to us, David. Like I just, even if you can't stay, just do it so I can like get practice on how to actually like how to do it. Please, if you could just give me even like 60 seconds. Okay, yeah, just I sure would appreciate that because you got a lot to share. You got
Mhm.
a lot, and you probably been growing fruit trees and stuff longer than I have. But this, yeah, so this little growth here, I don't know if
I don't think so.
that's a banana pup. Maybe I should have took a picture from like a different angle, but I saw it maybe like three or 4 days ago. And it is on, like I said, the banana tree, this one that's on the left, down there, like behind that little solar light. And I know that the 15-gallon pot is not the ideal size for a banana tree. I know that I have to get, a larger container, wider,
Mhm.
maybe a little bit deeper too, but surely wider. And I'm working on that. I don't have it. I don't have it right now.
Right.
Um,
I think even one of those like a storage tote. I don't know what the number on the bottom
oh yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah.
square one.
That probably, you know what? And actually I do have some in the garage. Oh, y'all, another just side note. So yesterday I spent about 9 hours in my garage
Ooh.
thinking that I was like reorganizing and going through stuff. And after 9 hours and like my feet being on fire, I feel like I didn't do anything.
Oh.
I think I took because I have those, the racks, like the little metal racks, storage racks. So I have those in there. Because I moved into a smaller home than the previous one, and this house has less. closets, less storage space. So the extra stuff has to go in the garage, in addition to the garage stuff that's in the garage. And so it's a lot of stuff. I try to at least make it look halfway decent by putting everything on those racks. I have probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 of those the racks. So one half of the garage is for my car, and the other half of the garage is like for all of the extra excess stuff. And I spent, like I said, like 9 hours in there, and I'm still not finished. But I feel like I didn't do anything. All I have to show for it is just like my feet was burning. Yeah. My feet was burning and on fire.
Oh.
So, but back to the fruit trees. I was saying that my apple tree and my lemon tree, Home Depot, my cherry tree, the mini royal from a local grower, that was not a positive experience. But all of the other trees, except for the bananas, are from a local nursery, and they are more expensive, but they have lifetime warranties. And I had just recently, and I'm looking at that, my Royal Lee cherry tree, it didn't make it after 2 years. And I had lost a receipt or whatever. I found a picture of it, thank goodness. Please take pictures of your receipts. No matter what, take a picture of your receipt, because if you lose the receipt, you still have, something where you can prove your purchase. And that's not just for fruit trees. That anything that's of value to you, take a picture of that receipt. So I, brought the picture of the receipt, and I had to bring like the remnants, like the dead pieces of the tree, and they gave me a brand new tree, and it is doing well. The third cherry tree that I ended up getting, so I have a mini royal, I have a royal Lee, and the third tree I have is a royal crimson. So these are all in the royal family, and the mini royal and the royal Lee, you need them too to cross pollinate. You got to have them. The royal crimson is kind of like uh almost like a bridge between. So the royal crimson does not need another tree for pollinate. It's self-pollinating. It will produce cherries. So that right there, was a selling point for me. Oh yeah, the credit card. Now see, but sometime when you do your credit card purchase, it'll say like the store name, it'll say the total, but it might not itemize, the individual things. But yeah, you can prove like through your credit card statements that you did make a purchase from that store. But if you want to show them like a individual item, especially if you bought more than one thing, sometimes it might not show up on your credit card thing or your bank statement. Sometimes it will, but sometimes it won't. But I learned the hard way about taking pictures. And then also if you keep your receipt, um put tape, like you can put scotch tape, but put tape over, because the ink will wear,
Yeah.
the ink will fade.
Yeah.
And like I said, if it's something that has, like a 1 year warranty, a 6 month warranty, whatever, depending on the type of ink that the store uses, the ink could be faded off before the warranty ends. And then you bring in a receipt, they can't see it, they holding it up to the light like it's a fake dollar bill. If you put tape over it, it'll preserve it. Now, once you put the tape on, don't peel the tape off, because the ink will come off on the tape. But you know, David said, "Yeah, receipt erase." That's right. That's right. So, so that local nursery, I will purchase probably every tree that I ever get, even though y'all, I have negative space for more trees, but I have a cherimoya, I have a dragon fruit, and I have a baby avocado that are just in maybe 1 gallon containers or whatever. If they survive, and live, obviously they're gonna need y'all, and then cause where am I going? Where am I put it? Where am I put it?
Right.
I don't know. Where am I gonna put it? But yeah, so I purchase all of my trees now from local nurseries. Like I said, this specific one, they have a lifetime warranty. I mean, now if you hack the thing or bring it home and never water it,
Right.
and then know you void the warranty. But the lifetime warranty definitely, has me with them, even though the price is higher.
Mhm.
I know that, if my green tree fingers fail me, I have an opportunity for, another chance.
Right.
So,
I wanted to mention some of our earlier trees, the ones that we don't have names for, came from the county extension office. So like
ah,
every fall, they send out like a newsletter of what they're going to have available, or
mm-hmm,
online, and then you wait till the spring to pick it up. And usually they're just bare roots, and so super
yeah,
cheap. You can get a
yeah,
whole
yeah,
for nothing. So
mm-hmm.
that's where we got a lot of our bushes and some of the big trees too. So that's an economical way to go
You
about.
know what? That's interesting that you say that, because I just was talking to a lady, not maybe 3 or 4 days ago. She got a tree from the extension office or whatever. They were like, yeah, we have these trees, and in her area, you can get up to 2 trees free.
Huh?
Well, this one particular tree, I don't know if it's because it was like special or endangered or whatever like that.
Right.
They wanted her to send them pictures
Wow.
of like where she planted it, and you know I guess the progress of the tree,
Right.
every so often. I don't know if that's a requirement like for everything, or maybe because that particular tree like itself was endangered or special or whatever, because she was like, well, I didn't know about that part. I didn't know I had to
Right.
like do a report
Right.
and send pictures and show progress and all of that. Um
Well,
but
that's cool though to like be a steward of something like saving a species. That's pretty.
mhm, that's true. That's true. Can you grow Japata? Did I say that right?
It's such a product.
Japata tree? David, I don't know. You know what? I have never heard of that. I don't know. Tell us a little bit about it. I don't know what that is. And I hope I'm pronouncing it right, because if I'm not, I know you laughing. I know, but I tried though. I should get like some points in effort for trying. Um, Something else I want to talk about with my fruit trees. I had mentioned this, in the beginning. Growing the trees in the containers is a learning experience, because the tree does not have infinite space to expand its roots to look for nutrients and water and all that kind of stuff. Everything that the tree gets, it gets from me trying to take care of it.
Right.
And because I have different varieties of trees, I have cherry trees, citrus trees, but even different citrus trees, there's general care for all citrus, but then some citrus you might have to like, tweak some things.
Right.
I have blueberries. I have two stone fruit with the nectar plum and the peach, but they require slightly little, just a little bit. And I'm still learning that. I really thought I had killed the peach tree, because of course when I got it from the local nursery, I mean, leaves everywhere. I mean, it almost looked like a palm tree. I mean, it was leaves like everywhere. And then after about, I'm gonna say maybe like 3 or 4 months, y'all, I hacked off at least 65 to 70% of that tree. From which I understand with stone fruit, it's particular with the peach, because I did my research and stuff. They say, if the tree is looking like real bad or whatever, you can cut off up to 70% off. They don't recommend that. They only recommend 1/3,
Yeah.
of the tree. But if it's, horrible, you can do up to 70%. Y'all, I might have did 71%. I think I have. They might have like 3 branches. You know what? Hold on. Let me see. I might have like 3 branches left on that tree. I'm gonna see if I can put up the picture. But y'all, I hacked it and it looked so bad. Like I thought it was dying. The branches was looking all just like they looked like they were dying. Y'all, I was so sad. But I am glad to say that the tree, it has survived. It's looking like it's gonna make it. And of course, I can't find the picture because I'm trying to show you. Oh wait, here it is. Um, let's try to get this one. Okay, yeah. So this is so what, like one, two, three, four, so 5 branches left. And when I tell you that peach tree probably had to have at least 20 branches on it.
Mm,
I'm not sure what happened. I don't think that there was peach leaf curl because I didn't see that on the tree,
right.
but something was like, I don't know. So I hacked off everything and it looked like my head when I was a little baby. It had like 3 strands, y'all. It had like 3 leaves left on it. But now you can see some growth. Those top 2 branches, the top 2 wide, I think that they are dead.
Mm,
But I'm scared to cut them off. I just, I don't want to do anything else to it. I don't. Hey, Nikki, how you doing? What's
hi.
up? What's up? We talking about fruit trees today. Tell us, tell us about any fruit trees, vines, bushes, some stuff that you have in your garden. And while you talking, Joy, I'm gonna look up Jabata Kaba. Now
Oh,
hold on, David, because you done spelled it like 3 different ways.
oh no.
Wait, Jab Jabata Kaba. Hold on. I'm about to look it up.
All right. Well, you touched on like tree care, and what to do with the soil. I find that most fruiting things like more acidic on the acidic side of things with the soil.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with blueberries. Obviously, that's like the most obvious one. Acid loving plant. So I know you had like a concoction with a vinegar mix, which I copied, and I'm supposed to be doing it weekly, but it's been just raining all the time, so there's no point when it just gets washed out. So once the stupid rain stops, then I'll get back on the routine of adding like a diluted vinegar mix into my watering schedule. But I have been
Uh-oh.
like peat moss is supposed to be acidic,
Ah.
so I do put peat moss in the holes where I plant. I mix it in with the soil, the native soil, and maybe if I buy a bagged soil, I mix that all in together, and I use that as the the mix for the fruit tree, and hopefully it does well from that. And mulch, obviously, you want to outcompete the weeds, the grasses. You want to get a nice a couple of feet, a foot or so around. Like in a container, it's perfect because you have that nice clean area around your tree. But if you're in the ground, whoa, what is that?
So this is I don't mean to interrupt you, but I was trying to this is the Jabata Kaba. So
That's pretty.
I found it because when I first saw it, did the same thing. But so David, what is this? And I'm sorry, Joy, I did not mean to
Yeah.
like cut you off or cut your train of thought off. But just right quick, so about the vinegar and water and stuff. So I think I did 3 or 4 weeks straight,
Mm.
and this is my second week that I have not done it. I
Oh,
need to test my pH
yeah.
because I was gonna do like 3 or 4 weeks on, do a
Mhm.
couple of weeks off, see, because I also have that soil acidifier, the granules in
Oh,
there, and I
yeah.
was using the vinegar water to, kind of help in the meantime, in between time.
Right.
Yeah.
So are these fruits on this tree? Like, did they? What is
Okay,
that?
it says, all right, let me read you. Look, let's go to Wikipedia,
Yeah.
which may or may not be telling us the truth, but let me
Right.
see
Right.
what it says. Is the edible fruit of the Japuta cabeira or Brazilian grape tree. The
Uh-huh.
purplish black and white pulped fruit grows directly on the trunk of the tree,
Wow.
making it an example of a cauliflower. It is eaten raw or used to make jellies, jams, juice, or wine. The tree is native to the states of Rio de Janeiro, Minas Gerais, Goiás, and Sao Paulo in Brazil.
Okay.
Okay, so that's but could you know what though? If it's Nate Brazil, you know what? I
So like,
maybe I could. Maybe in my zone and stuff like that, maybe I could
is
try.
it
But this
like
thing look like
humid?
it's huge.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, this thing look like it is huge. Nikki says that she has a contender peach tree, brown turkey fig, couple of blueberry, raspberry, blackberry bushes. Recently harvested some strawberries, and she's an amateur at fruit tree growing. So I'm here to learn. Well, look, you we all
You're on
learning.
percent.
I know we all here to learn it, but we have discussed like growing trees in the ground or having trees in the ground versus growing them in containers. Some of the things that you have to consider. We haven't directly said it, but kind of touched on it. I'm in zone 10. The things that I'm growing compared to Joy, what she's growing in zone 6. One thing I want to check, just touch on real quickly, because we both are growing cherry trees.
Right.
But if you know, cherry trees are known for requiring cold winters
Yep.
of cool temperatures, um, better known as chill hours, as we know.
Yep.
Now, I have cherry trees in the royal family. So I have a mini royal, a royal lee, and a crimson royal. And the reason why I can grow them here in Southern California is because they have very low chill hour requirements. I could not, for instance, in my area, grow like a Stella or some of the varieties that you have, Joy, because it just does not get cold enough here.
Right.
And what cherry trees that you have?
I only currently have the Nanking cherry, which is
Uh-huh.
isn't even the best, cherry, but
Yeah.
it's reliable. But yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
would definitely like to expand. I know in New Jersey, which is isn't that far from me,
Yeah.
but we used to know someone in their backyard that had this beautiful cherry tree, and they kept it low, so I was able to climb it and just like sit there and pop cherries in my mouth all day. That's what I want.
I would do that. I would do that. Now, Nikki says she have a 4-in-1 cherry tree. So what
Oh,
varieties of cherry are on your tree? And I know you said it's only growing leaves, but how old is the tree also?
and I hear like you really gotta like one or two will take over like varieties, and then the other ones will fizzle out. So it's tough
Mm-hmm.
with the grafted multi grafted trees.
With the yeah, yeah. But you know what though? I'm gonna try again because I'm like my feelings is hurt that none. When I tell you none of the, and I thought I was doing something by grafting 2 of each of the 4 varieties
Right.
of the scions that I got, girl. My feelings is hurt. I'm looking at the little tag, the pink tag, the orange tag, the yellow tag, the blue tag, and girl, all it is a dead piece of stick on the end. And you know what? I need to, because now it's obvious that the grafts didn't take. I need to go ahead and cut that off, so nothing, like goes back and damages the branch,
Right.
because I'm probably gonna use them same branches and I'm gonna try again next year, y'all. But my feelings was hurt. I'm not gonna lie. So Nikki says Van Cherry, Black Tartarian, and Stella. Wait, did I miss one? Because that's 3. Van Cherry, Black Tartarian, and Stella. What's the 4th one, Nikki? Or did I miss it? Oh no, don't give up on it. Don't give up on it. You have to give it. So, this book I read, it said don't chop the tree down unless it haven't bear fruit for 5 years, so give it another year. And then that probably was only for like
Right.
single species trees, with a multi species, you might have to give it,
Mhm.
you know, like a little extra. David says Cali have purple plum cherry trees with deep purple leaves out on the streets.
Wow.
It's beautifully put throughout the community. You know what? Probably so. But not where I live though. We don't
Yeah.
have no beautifully purple. The only purple leaves I have are the ones that's on my nectar plum, and that's one of the reasons why I bought it. The deep purple leaves and the beautiful pink and purple flowers, y'all.
Mhm.
I almost could skip. Well,
Right.
no, because I'm greedy. I'm about to say I could almost skip past the fruit for how beautiful the tree is. No,
Yeah.
y'all, I'm too greedy. I have to have it. But I did learn about my nectar plum is that when the fruit first start growing, they are very deep and dark purple, just like the leaves.
Mhm.
But the fruit are not ripe until it's like a light pale pink color.
Ah,
And see, I didn't know that. So see,
mhm.
I'm still learning because you know me, I'd have snatched it off,
Right,
start eating it while, oh, dark purple, thinking about a
right,
plum,
right.
cause nectar plum, right? Plum. But no, I have to wait for it to get more nectarine like color for
Okay.
it to be fully ripe. See, you learn something new every day because I sure was about to snatch them off and eat them. And I probably got my feelings hurt because they probably been sour. And the stone probably, not enough flesh grow around it. The,
Right.
the pit would have been this big. And
Yep.
I still would have ate it though.
Oh, so here's a practice that I see once in a while that irks me, but I understand why they do it. Do you ever paint your trees? Do you ever paint the trunk white to keep it from sun scald?
Okay, so check this out. Check this out. And I did a video on this.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all know I have it. IV Organics sells but it's a natural like paint. It's not
Yeah.
because you know how they say go to the store, you buy like the cheapest latex paint, you
No.
cut it 50-50,
No.
and you paint your trees. It can protect it from like sun scald and it can protect it from the bugs.
Mhm.
And a lot of people do that. And a lot of people are successful with doing that. Well, I was trying to go like the natural route, the organic, kind of route. I have it. It's powder and the oils are separate, and then you put water in the can and mix it up and paint it. Y'all,
Okay.
why I still ain't do it? I do have, so it came with a spray bottle of like the diluted
Okay.
solution, and you can spray the leaves and you can spray the branches in the trunk, but it's meant for like the leaves
Mm-hmm.
to give them some protection.
Right.
Now I did use all of that. Of course, y'all know the spray nozzle thing broke. I don't know what it is with these spray nozzles. So I had to go to Home Depot. I bought me a good y'all, and I paid like $4 or $5 for one 32-ounce bottle.
Mm.
I must have got a bonus in my check or something like that because I'll be going to the Dollar Tree. But I wanted one that I wanted to make sure that the spray nozzle wasn't gonna break. And so I transferred it into that bottle
Mhm.
and sprayed the trees. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I did see a difference. That spray, I believe, helped to revive my pink lemonade lemon tree. Because if you go back and look like 5 or 6 months ago, um and you look at that pink lemonade lemon tree, it looks horrible. That's another one that I hacked to pieces.
Mhm.
All I did was spray the IV Organics, spray on it. And now I have leaves. Like it still look a little crazy, y'all. It still is don't look like it's supposed to look,
All right.
but it looks so much better than what it did before. And I'm trying to let me see if
Ah!
hold on. I know I'm trying to change the picture. Let me see. Is this it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is what my pink lemonade lemon tree looks like now. When I tell y'all this is like 1,000,000,000% better than what it looked like 4 or 5 months ago. I
Mm.
think I may have had five, maybe five leaves and all of the branches, but I had some little small bugs. I couldn't see them with the naked eye. I actually took snippets of leaves and branches to a local nursery, and they have a microscope, and they
Oh my
will
God.
they look at your plant parts under the microscope, and then they
Mhm.
can help you, kind of see what's going on and then help to resolve some issues. They recommended like a pesticide, thanks to a liquid solution. And I bought it. I have it. I purchased it because, they took like an hour of their time
Mm.
helping me. And I was like, the least I could do is, like buy something.
Sure.
But when I got home, I was like, you know what? I have the IV Organics solution. And I kind of compared the ingredients,
Mhm.
and it's almost the same except for like that pesticide,
Mhm.
ingredient. And I was like, well, let me do the IV Organics route. And I'm gonna tell y'all, it made a difference. I'm still gonna save that,
Yeah.
that the other solution, just in case you never know.
Right.
But I sprayed it on this tree. I also sprayed it on, this is my blood orange tree. And I hacked this one down too. And I sprayed it on this, and look at the leaves on this tree, y'all. I'm telling you, if you go back and look at the videos, y'all, it's miraculous. It's probably gonna take these trees still probably maybe 2 years,
Mhm.
you know, for something. But it's miraculous. It's miraculous. Um, okay, David says, so look up about the plum cherry trees. I'm gonna look it up. But you know what though? I'm scared to look it up because if it's something I could put in a pot and bring home. But you know what though? Tell me this. Tell me this, David. Is it so it's purple plum cherry tree, but is it plums? Is it edible plums? Is it because I can't grow nothing that I can't eat. So if it's if it's just for like ornamental, if it's ornamental, then I could look it up because I know I'm not gonna buy it. But if it have edible fruit, I ain't gonna look it up. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Oh yeah, and you're right. I can make more spray with the powder. You're right, David. But I want to make myself paint the trees. So Joy, going way back to what you said like a half hour ago. I do. I have the IV Organics, you know, paste. And y'all know me, I'm always looking at, okay, now I done purchased this product. Let me check the ingredients and can I make this myself in the future? Because IV Organics is not cheap either, but y'all know I got it on sale. Um, I want to paint my trees. I have not done it yet, but I will. Just like I want to start my rice. Joy, I
Oh,
still
Jesus.
okay, this confession, y'all. This side thing, not even about fruit trees. The rice. Okay, the rice challenge is gonna be over with by the time
It'll
I
be
even
fun.
started. But I still have the bucket. It still has the drowned out peat moss. I still have the rest of the bucket. I'm gonna put compost, and all I gotta do is get the compost and get the seeds and sprinkle it on the
Yeah.
why. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to put the confession. I had to. So do you is your rice sprouted?
Yes, they are.
Oh my
I
God.
do have another seed packet because they gave me a replacement. So I will be dumping those out just directly.
Now,
So
okay,
we're still head to head.
now let me ask you. So I have a 5 gallon bucket. That's
Yeah.
all the space I have. How many rice grains?
A packet. Dump the
Just
packet.
sprinkle a whole packet.
Yes.
Just sprinkle because they in my garden of rice seeds, so they probably only got 20 grains in there.
Oh, yeah.
I love in my garden.
Oh, jeez. No, there's a lot, but not what
I'm
comes
gonna tell
up.
you the only seeds that I had problems with germinating from in my gardener was the ground cherry.
Really?
Um the ground cherry. Yeah, but I'm gonna plant them again. I mean, I'm gonna sow those seeds again. But
Yeah.
when I tell you not one, not and I sowed and resowed, and not one seed came up. So I ended up putting my elephant garlic in that front raised bed, and y'all, the black aphids.
Ooh.
You know what? I don't even want to give them no energy. But I ended up pulling out my elephant garlic because it was supposed to rain and storm and all that kind of stuff, and I wanted to get them out before a lot of rain came. Y'all know it drizzled. I don't know why this area just tricked me with what they call rain. I'm from Louisiana. I know rain, and what they call rain here is barely enough to make the windshield wipers on your car like flick back and forth. Anyway, I pulled up all of the elephant garlic. They are a lot smaller than what I wanted them to be, but I pulled them. I pulled them, y'all. I pulled them. David Corey say, where you find rice to grow? I bought rice seeds from MI Gardener, but my understanding is that if you buy organic wild rice from the store, it has to be organic. You can try that, and those rice grains may sprout. But the regular rice you buy from the store, it doesn't work. It's heavily processed, and plus they, you know, put all kind of stuff on it, so that won't work. But you can try organic rice.
There's a few more retailers online, like if you just type it up, but usually most of them like sell you 50-pound bags of it or something. So it's kind of tough to just get, a packet or two of rice.
Yeah, I can't do that. But
There's
for real, Joy, for real. Like I know I
well,
keep for
if
real.
we do a proper challenge maybe in the future, then like one of us can buy a whole bag and then separate it out, divvy it up, and then that will at
And
least
then
everybody get
yeah,
something.
because I need to. There's no reason for me like not to. I need to do it.
Oh, there's a lot of things we
Um,
we need to do. Oh my gosh, the
I
list
do. I need to
is
do
growing.
it. Right now, though, what I need to do is try to close out and wrap up this live stream. Cause y'all know I be running from one place to another. I was somewhere before the live stream. I had just enough time to come home to set up and get everything ready. See, and that's my alarm telling me, you gotta go. So Joy, tell us where we can find you. Tell us about your channels and all your other platforms and everything.
You can find me at Joy of the Garden and Home, where I share, vegetables and tours of the property. You'll see my fruit trees there. My other channel, Joy Unhinged, is where I would share my baking and just general like house.
That's a funny channel, y'all. Y'all need to, if you're not subscribed to Joy Unhinged, you need to subscribe to that channel. You
Oh,
did, because you never know what she gonna talk about. Like it's just all
it's
kind
random.
of like different things. Yeah, all kind of
So
different stuff.
random.
Like she take you to the store with her when she goes shopping. So y'all need to subscribe to both of the channels. But yeah, that Joy Unhinged, she named it right.
I got to get more unhinged, so it's more, on par. I also have just on Rumble. If you don't like YouTube, you can go on Rumble. It's the same stuff that's on my garden show.
Mhm.
And I have an Instagram, Joy of the Garden. I barely post on there, but once in a while.
Yeah.
That's me.
I keep saying I have my contact stuff scrolling below, but I keep saying that I really was thinking about having a Rumble channel and just basically copy
Mhm.
the stuff over to Rumble. Like I'm not gonna do separate content, not unless Rumble really pick up,
Right.
and then maybe then I can do something like special for Rumble. Um, but see the Instagram and the all of the other stuff. Like I'm not on any other platform, and I'm like, you know what? Should I? But see, y'all, I don't know. I don't know
And
because
Facebook is really kind of good still. Like it
mhm,
fizzled out for a bit, but now it's doing pretty
it's
good.
coming back.
Yeah.
I might do that.
Hmm.
I like being on YouTube and it's like you have one place to find me.
Yeah.
But I know that if I, expand out to other platforms, then maybe more people could find me because even
Exactly.
though YouTube is very like popular and stuff, especially for like longer format or whatever, some people like the quick thing. Like TikTok, I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm probably never gonna get on TikTok. Never say never, but I'm probably never gonna get on TikTok. But Instagram and stuff, like I have never had any of those accounts. And then like coming into it and like starting from scratch,
Hmm.
trying to learn how to use them and stuff. Y'all, my Pinterest account,
Right.
I don't even know the password. You know what? I need to take that off of my YouTube page
Oh, okay.
because I don't. For a while now, I was using Pinterest to like just copy stuff over or
Mhm.
like copy the links to have people come over to my YouTube channel or whatever.
Yeah.
But I stopped. I stopped. Wait, David, you said you was gonna come up. Hold on. Did he leave? David, you said you was gonna come up for like 60 seconds. Who else in here? Anybody else in here, please, y'all, come up so we could test out this thing. Hold on, let me see where I think this is the right, thing. I just want one person to come up just for like a little bit. I need to practice and get this thing going. I need to see if we can do this.
Well,
David, where you at? Did you leave?
she might have.
I hope. Nikki, you still here? Somebody's still here.
Oh, I got my.
It's showing five. It's showing five, which I think we might almost broke a record right there with five. How about this? I sure appreciate you though.
Yeah.
All five people. But you know what though? I think I think 2 of the 5 is us, Joy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I sure appreciate it. If you came for the live stream, even for 1 second, we appreciate you. If you're coming back for the replay, thank you so much. Definitely appreciate you. Share our channels. We small channels, small YouTubers and stuff. We got different things. Check out our channels to see all of the different type of content, that we have on our channels. Is not just gardening, even though, you know, this a gardening live stream, but it's not just gardening. We do other things on our channel. Check us out. Spread the word, hit that share button, like, subscribe, all of that kind of stuff, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hook us up. We trying to come up.
Yes.
And speaking of that, I was trying to get David to come up, but hey, okay, K Renee, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Come up. Come up just for a second. I'm just trying to make it work.
I
I
think
just
that
want to
share
see.
the link. Does she
Yeah,
still have?
so the link should be in the description.
Oh,
I
this.
I know I got it like streaming along the bottom, but it
Yeah.
should be in the description. And I just want to test this, y'all. Please. I am asking. I'm not begging, though. I'm not gonna do that, but I am respectfully asking just one person. Just come up so I can see how this thing works.
While
Um,
we're waiting, let's
yeah.
see. My future wish list of trees I still want to get.
Yes, tell
Um,
us.
the gumi. Have you had any knowledge of the gumi tree? Or
No, what's that?
I don't know. It's one of those. Also, the miracle berry. I've only seen it in Florida, and it's so expensive. I gotta find a friend in Florida to send it to
Miracle
me.
berry. Now I have a miracle leaf of life. That has like flowers and stuff on it, but it's I don't think it's a berry.
Yeah, the berry like is mainly used with cancer patients because they lose their taste. Taste.
Mm.
So it's like changes sour things to sweet, and I don't know other things like that. So that looks really interesting, but it's Florida type plant. And last is persimmons.
Uh-huh.
We swapped persimmons into this property, but they didn't survive or something. I can't find them.
Mm-hmm.
So persimmon is the other fruit tree on my list for the future, along with a
I
bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, I'm scared to even have a wish list or even say, because if I start thinking about it, I'm gonna go get it, because I believe, let me scroll back up, because I think David did say that purple plum something something. I believe he said that it does, like the fruit all is edible, and that's the last thing. David, I don't know why you told me that, because I need the oh, David also brought up something earlier about using cottonseed meal
Yeah,
for soil that needs acidic soil.
right.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
I gotta get that.
Um as with all amendments and just things that you add to your soil, make sure that you check the acidity, whether it be with the strips or the meters or whatever. Check the acidity before you apply whatever you're going to apply. And then even if it's just once a week, check the acidity, because sometimes it could take 2 to 5 weeks just for you to see any change at all.
Right.
But once it starts happening, it can happen. And you want to check, because you don't want the soil to be overly acidic. Now,
Right.
blueberries, my understanding is that they like, between like 4.5 and 5.5. Some of them will even grow up to 6, pH,
Yeah.
depending on the variety. But if you just keep adding, your soil pH could be like 3, it could be 2, and that might be just a little bit too much,
Yeah.
for you. Then you'll be wondering why the blueberries is dead. I think that's one reason why, when I first planted my blueberries in the containers, I did use the Espoma soil acidifier granules.
Mhm.
So I had that in the soil. That takes a
Yeah.
while. It can take a couple months to break down. I use the vinegar and water, so like 1 to 2 tablespoons per gallon of water. And I did that 3 or 4 weeks on Fridays. I think one day I did it on a Saturday, but the past 2 weeks I have not applied because I still need to get out there with the meter and other strips. I have a meter to test the soil pH to see if it's actually going down, or what is it? Because at some point, and especially because I'm using the vinegar water once a week, that's going to help the soil acidifier granules to also break down quicker than what if it was just plain water that I was watering. So I want to check my soil pH, and then I'll decide on, okay, do I continue weekly treatments with the vinegar water, or do I just let the soil acidifier do its thing? But then every 3 months you want to check, because if left alone, your soil is gonna go back
Yeah.
alkaline, like the pH is gonna raise up. And before your blueberries tell you, because they
Right.
did,
Yeah.
you you wanna treat. See,
Right.
yeah, David say, yeah, you could eat the plums. I know I shouldn't. Oh, now Karen, they say it's not in the description box. I thought for sure.
I didn't see it there.
I thought on the YouTube, in the YouTube thing, I put. So where do I need to put it where you
In
can
the
see
chat.
it?
You can put it in the chat.
Oh, put it. Okay, let's do this.
So yesterday I have a problem with what they call it. It used to be gypsy moth, but then now they call it something else, spongy moth. So I have a problem with that with some of our trees. So I did spray some BT, Bacillus thuringiensis,
Mm-hmm.
out there yesterday to try to keep the population down, because
Yeah.
it is becoming a problem here in the Northeast. I don't know about you, what you suffer there. And there's also a little beetle, the tiny beetle. It's almost like the type that that infect my eggplants, but bigger. Um,
Is it striped or does it
no,
have dots
just
like a
black.
ladybug?
Nope, it's just plain black.
Just a plain.
Yeah, so
Mm.
I have to see what I could do about those, but mainly the moths, because they chew up the leaves and then you got nothing to photosynthesize. So the moths
Yeah.
are my bigger problem, the caterpillars. So I've done the BT for that.
Now
Yeah.
I still barely have anything at all planted. And y'all, my starts, the starts is dying because they done grew out of the cell. My green
Uh,
starts
right.
starter kit. Like I have so much to do. Work is crazy. I just been so busy. I do a lot of driving, and by the time I get home, y'all, all I could do is take my shoes off,
Right.
rub them dogs, get into the shower, get something to eat, and so I'm trying. um but I need to get things potted up. But one thing that I see now, aphids, y'all, I have red aphids, green aphids, white aphids, yellow aphids, and black aphids, and all of them, they are on different things. The volunteer tomatoes that I had, that I took them out of the raised bed and just put them in a pot. I wasn't gonna do nothing with them anyway. They have red and green aphids on them. The black aphids attack my elephant garlic, which is why I pulled them out early, and they barely look like scallions. But I pulled them out. I usually don't pull them out until the end of June or July, and I also planted them late. I planted them in January instead of November.
Oh,
But I pulled them out because the black aphids did just too much. And then I have white woolly aphids on my Fuji apple tree.
oh.
I spray them off
Yeah.
with
Aphids
a
are
hose.
not so bad.
Yeah. That's the normal thing. Now the black aphids, I used the Castile soap.
Mhm. Okay.
What was it? Castile soap. Oh, vegetable oil. Castile soap, vegetable oil, and water.
Mhm.
So like a teaspoon to a tablespoon of the Castile soap, same thing for the vegetable oil,
Mhm.
to like 32 ounces of water.
Yeah.
But I think that might have been just a little bit too strong.
Oh.
So the next time I make it, I'm gonna do a teaspoon of
Mhm.
the Castile soap, a teaspoon of the canola oil, and then 32 ounces of water, because I didn't want like a big gallon thing. You know, I wanted to use just a small spray bottle.
Yeah.
So 32 ounces, I'm going to use a teaspoon, and then I'll try that, you know, I'll try that next time.
Mhm.
So, but I put the link in the chat, but hey, BG and G, what's up, homie? Long time no see. Dude, yo, if you're not subscribed to his channel, please. If you how just look at his name, and then if you into that, you need to subscribe to his channel. I love the way that he combined it together. Yo, bruh, thank you so much for stopping by. I sure appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. But you know what though? We getting ready to roll out, because now I literally just have 5 minutes to get out the door. I tried to cut it at that time so I could breathe before I go out the door, but I didn't do it. So, thank you very much for being here. If you were here for any part of the live, if you're coming back for the replay, y'all spread our spread our live stream, spread our channels and all of that kind of stuff, because I always go off on a tangent. Joy try to keep me straight. She try to keep me like straight on a topic, but like literally a butterfly flew. And I was totally off topic because I have all of my windows and stuff open so I can see outside and see the garden as I'm doing the live stream, because it's supposed to help me like stay on track and stick on point. But no,
Sorry.
Joy, she tried though, and I sure appreciate it. Thank you, Joy. Thank you,
You're
Joy.
welcome. All right. I think we did a good time there. We covered pretty much everything.
Yeah. So this was about just fruit trees that we have in our garden. Just we beginners. We still learning the ropes. We still trying to get the tricks of the trade. The chat, y'all shared a lot of good information with us. Now y'all David about to have me, I'm gonna have a purple plum tree or whatever as soon as I can find it, because it's supposed to be local to my area. So I'm gonna have that. But with that being said, y'all have a great and a blessed day. Joy, we will see you hopefully in 2 weeks
Yes.
on Joy's channel. So just in case you're not familiar, so we've been doing these YouTube gardening live stream videos every other Monday about this time, somewhere between 10 and 11 a.m. Pacific, and then that will make it 1 and 2 p.m. Eastern.
Right.
So every other Monday, one Monday we'll have it on my channel, which we're doing today. So the next live stream in 2 weeks will be on Joy's channel. So make sure check out her channel, subscribe to them. She has 2 channels, Joy of the Home and Garden and Joy Unhinged. Make sure you subscribe to both of them. We definitely appreciate y'all. Have a great and a blessed day. Joy, close us out.
Oh, geez.
Surprise!
What's my catchphrase? So well, harvest more. Talk to y'all again soon.
Bye.